Hey guys, this is Nick with Cymatics, and welcome to the second bonus video of our Hip Hop Beatmaking Foundations course. In this video, we're going to be making a West Coast style beat. So we're going to set a tempo of 100 BPM, and we're going to make a club style vibe for sure. So what we're going to do is make a clip, and we're going to have a simple piano sound, as simple as can be, from Keyscape. So the patch itself, just a C7 mellow, and I just put some reverb on it here. So that'll give us that vibe that we're going for. We want to have a very simple piano arpeggio. And what we're going to do is just make a very simple piano here. And make it very spacey. We're going to add some effects to make it spacey. Let's enable the metronome. So this is going to be the basis of our beat. Arpeggios are usually very simple. I'm just going to extend the notes a tiny bit to make it sound a bit more realistic. So once we have the piano arpeggio out of the way, the next step would be the bass line. Now, in this kind of genre of music, there tends to be an actual bass line that's separate from the 808. But a lot of times, and I'll try to demonstrate it in this project as well, the 808 and the bass line tend to merge together or play separately or just be one or the other. But I do hear a lot of like this kind of bass sound. And this is just a patch like Big and Dark or Big and Tight from the Omnisphere default library. So it's kind of almost like a house bass line, but that's kind of what gives the genre a sort of club sensibility to it, which I like a lot. So what we're going to do is write a very simple bass line that will follow along with the melody. Don't go too low, because when you go too low, you start to get this warbling distortion. It's not really necessary. Just gonna let it roll. And then resolve the phrase toward the end. And that's going to give us a vibe. Let's extend the notes a bit. All of them. And a lot of these patches, they're velocity sensitive, so if you reduce the velocity, it'll also make the note darker. So maybe the last note can be a bit darker. That makes the bass line a bit more interesting. That's cool. So what I'm going to do is add a bit of reverb to this. Take out the low end from the reverb and just bring it down. I don't want it to be overbearing. And that'll give it that spacey vibe for sure. Look at this. And maybe even a delay. We're trying to go for very expansive sound, ethereal sound. Again, filtering the delay so it's not capturing the entire frequency spectrum. I just wanted to give it a slight rhythmic spatial feeling. And of course remove some of that low end. Look at that. That's not pleasant. Nice. So that delay also needs to be controlled a bit. Nice. What I want to do now is add a pad sound. I want a pad that's soft, that doesn't do too much work, because I just want it to fill out those spaces. Like Fantasia Grains, this patch is very nice. Let's load it up and throw in a MIDI. I just want it to have one chord in the beginning of the phrase. It's nice. Yeah, give it a sense of dimension here, that's it. And to fill out the gaps in the piano in an unobtrusive way. And then I kind of want to let it run and then fade out towards the end probably. Like that. Now what I don't like is the high end, so I'm going to take out the high end with an equalizer and the low end. Nice, because I want to have the piano peek through. Maybe go into the patch itself and increase the attack a tiny bit. Just to have an ethereal sound there, giving it some landscape. We can also try, to varied degrees of success, is adding a very tiny amount of delay to the bass. Probably like a dotted 8 note. And filter out all the sub out of it. And just make it very subtle. Let's try it. Oh, this is the wrong instrument. That gives it that sound. Let's try maybe a dotted 8th note. That's cool. Maybe we can even make this a bit spacier. Okay. And that's just about it for the melody. I mean, what you can do is kind of process it a tiny bit. You don't need to do too much to it because you don't need to make it that vintage sounding, but it does give it some motion if you try just a bit of RC20. Just keeps it moving a tiny bit. I don't really want to add too much noise, but it definitely gives it a vibe. And I group both the tracks together, and I'm applying the RC20 to both tracks at the same time. Okay, now let's start putting in some drums. Let's do a clap first. That's cool. Just throw it in. It's a bit high pitched for my taste, so I'm gonna bring it down a semitone probably. Excellent. And towards the end. Cool. Let's go on to some hi-hats. Add one hi-hat for now, then we're gonna add some more later. I like these kinds of hi-hats for this music because they aren't too intrusive. So we're just gonna write a basic kind of 16th note pattern or 8th note pattern. Yeah. And then we're gonna start sprucing it up a bit. Maybe do a little roll at the end here. And then reduce the velocities consecutively. Nice. Yeah, that's cool. I'm gonna EQ that clap a little bit. And then bring the high end a bit. And almost detune it. I don't want to transpose it, but detune it a bit more downwards. Just boosting a bit of that low end to help it cut through. Okay. Let's put some kicks in. The kicks are very important because they're going to give us all of the groove in the low end. Let's look for some good kicks. Let's look for some magic kicks. Let's try that one. And we're going to generally follow the bass line with the kicks. That's what's going to give us the energy. It's going to couple with the bass and it's going to sound good, hopefully. Let's try this. Okay. And we're going to vary it in the second half. Maybe make it a bit more energetic. And maybe do a riff at the end. Don't want to overdo it with the kicks. And let's try some different kick samples. just looking for something that punches but also isn't too obvious. Yep, it's a nice one. Now we're going to load up our glue compressor just a clip, and we're going to start to mix into the glue compressor. That's going to help us a lot. Get us that tone. There we go. Okay. Okay, let's add another hi-hat of a different tonal quality. Something like that will work. Just give it some more bounce. That's cool. And then we're gonna just roll downwards here. Probably make it shorter. Even shorter. Just a small little roll. Yep, that's good enough. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Where's our bass? Okay. So typically there's a lot of cool cymbals that happen at the beginning of each measure. So I'm just going to add one cymbal, maybe two, and that'll just open up the beat very nicely. Let's look for a crash. Yeah, let's try that. Now I can just let it run. Yeah, it's nicer. Adding some bounce here. That hi-hat is a bit obtrusive. It's going to cut away a bit of low end on the loop. Okay, now we're going to touch on an interesting subject, which is how to mix this particular bass line with an 808, because that's what I hear quite often. And we're going to look for an 808 that is pretty simple. It's just a kind of a simple sine wave, pretty much. That'll give us a lot of their thud of a, a real 808, and the bass line will be kind of a layer on top of it. So the way we can reconcile the two is by filtering out all the low end from the bass line. So let's find our bass, and we're going to have to cut out pretty much all the low end from it with a high pass filter. Let's boost the velocities of these guys actually. But now we have no bass, and the idea is that the 808 is going to provide us that. Yeah, I think that'll work. Let's try that. And we're going to write it a few octaves above as usual. Make sure that everything's in tune. Do some tricks there. Let's try it. So you can have 808s running here as well, or you can just kind of follow the bass and let this part be empty, which I kind of like. Alright, now our bass is starting to clash a bit. So let's mix the 808 to be the right level. It sounds pretty good with the kick, I think. So we can try inverting the phase to make sure that it's in phase. Yeah, it's better this way, as opposed to. Try reducing the velocities of these notes a tiny bit, get a softer sound. Okay. Now what remains is to fix this bass line. Yeah, that sounds a lot more cohesive now, because I inverted the phase of the kick and a lot less problems. So if I just make a sharper filter here and just solo the bass for 2 seconds, even though it's not good practice, that's the part. That's what I want to be out there. So let's try that out. Okay, so we're going to experiment with a few different filtering options because some notes are jumping through, others are not. So we're going to try a low cut, but with a shallower curve so that the transition isn't as steep. Turn on our delay. I'm starting to enjoy it without the delay, actually. Now they're gelling together properly. Let's add a few percussion elements. Something like this, potentially. This probably will work. Yeah. Excellent. Let's throw that in there. Put it in the wrong spot. Okay. Here I want to make this one quieter because the clap is on that spot already. Let's have some open hats, eh? Open hats can do a lot for the bounce here, for sure. So we'll go here. Something like that even. So I don't even know where to place it. God, my first instinct is here. Whoops. Yeah, it's vibey for sure. So we're gonna add another, or change the sample rather. I want something. Oh, that's cool too. Actually, I'm just going to let it run the first time. Yeah. I'm going to apply a compressor to this bass line, basically telling it to not go over a certain level. And if it does, it's going to get pushed back down because there's a lot of variation in the volumes of each note because of the fact that it's kind of a detuned patch. And then I have to make up for it with the output volume. Still getting some interference from that last note. Maybe boost some of the mids to give it that tone. can try widening it a little bit with some Haas effect trickery. And the only way this is possible is because we took out all the low end from the bass, so it's kind of just a layer now. We can do some stereo expansion, stuff like that, without worrying too much. And all the Haas effect really is just putting your delay all the way up in dry wet, feedback all the way down, and just separating the two delay channels by about 7 milliseconds. So maybe 1 millisecond and 7. That'll give you a nice spread out sound. See if you can hear it. Nice. Now our 808 is smack in the middle, and the bass line is on the sides. If you want to reduce the effect, then reduce the delay. I actually want to add a tiny bit of reverb to it because it'll give us the space we need. Just a really, really small amount of space, guys. It's not what we're going for. All the low end has to be destroyed, obviously. That'll just give us this kind of sound. Also, the clap can use a very small amount of reverb too. I don't generally put reverb on claps in hip hop, but sometimes it works. So I'm going to use a plate algorithm, make it like very, very shallow, keep that the same, and then just remove all of this. And again, I use the same. I never like too much high end or low end in my reverb. It's just invoking a sense of space. It's very subtle. And then make the attack a bit longer so it doesn't. So if you listen to it solo, it just kind of sings off. Very, very subtle. 3%. If we do it without it, dead dry. Which is also nice, but it kind of plays off the spacey piano. Let's boost the kick into the soft clipper. So for the kick, I can actually stand to reduce a tiny amount of the low end, actually. It's a bit too boomy for my taste. Yes, there we go. Let's go back to the clap. I'm kind of debating whether I should keep the reverb. Maybe we can make it the same, but just very, very, very subtle. So notice how by itself the bass layer is completely hollow, but with the 808 under it, since we mixed them together properly, they both sound like a cohesive unit. I'm gonna add another EQ at the end just to cut away a tiny bit of this. Also, Vintage Verb is adding some low end. Nice. Just gonna add one last little effects sound. Just gonna take a clap, different than the one I already have. Something a bit lighter, yeah, like this. And probably pitch this up, this sound, this percussion. I'm going to disable adaptive cue for this, so that hump disappears. Now we're going to finish that effects that I was talking about. We're going to set it to triplet grid, 16ths probably, 30 seconds, yeah. I think this will sound bad right now, yeah. But we're going to do this kind of crescendo. There we go. It gives us that impetus to return back to the beginning of the beat, beginning of the loop. I'm gonna cut out a bit of the high end because it's kind of flexing on the main clap, and I don't like that. Okay, let's go to our main clap and give it some love, give it some high end. It's getting outshined. There we go. Awesome. There you have it, folks. I hope you guys learned something from this West Coast type beat lesson. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.